Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Andrea Bonaceto. Andrea Bonaceto is an NFT visual artist based in London. In 2021, he received the Fellowship of Royal Society of Arts. Andrea is inspired by people's facial expressions and abstract artifacts of nature. He mostly uses acrylic colors on paper, canvas, gesso board, and digital media via an iPad Pro. His main focuses are abstract artworks and portraits. In March 2021, Andrea collaborated with Sofia The Robot, the most advanced AI humanoid robot in the world. Together they created a series of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, artworks that were subsequently sold on the leading NFT marketplace, NFT Gateway. Andrea is also founding partner at Eternal Capital, an investment firm operating in the blockchain space. Andrea's work has been featured on international media, including the New York Times, ArtNet, Reuters, BBC, CNN, and Vanity Fair. Well, good afternoon, Andrea. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
You bet, Andrea. I appreciate it. I know it's been a busy day for you traveling and so forth over in Barcelona. So thank you for jumping on. I know time difference is always a challenge, but I love doing these podcasts. And so, Andrea, let's jump into the questions here because I really want to talk about some things you've been doing. You had some exciting things that happened this last spring with Sofia The Robot, Dr. David Hansen, and the digital art, right? NFTs. So jumping into your career here as an entrepreneur, a fellow, an advisor, and now you're the partner at Eternal Capital. Could you share with our audience the secret to what inspires you and how you got into digital art?
Yes, so I've been involved in the in the blockchain space for several years as an investor, mostly. So as you said, like Eternal Capital is basically a company that I started together with three other friends, and we basically invest in blockchain projects. So we had a very successful first fund. Now we have a new fund. But then, me, I'm quite fluid as a personality. I've always been extremely interested into art and operating in the art sector at different levels. And then basically when the NFT trend really picked up, when the NFT trend was born, let's say within the fine art space, I captured it quite early. And, I saw it as an opportunity to be more coherent with myself and express myself. And that's how, then also the collaboration with Sofia in March came about. That then went, very well. And now, there are projects that I'm pursuing from an artistic standpoint myself, and as well, I think Sofia also.
That's amazing. And right now, blockchain is such a trending topic. It's a technology that people are certainly applying in all different places, and including Coruzant Technologies, our publication. It's probably going to be the first publication built on blockchain. That project is nearing completion, and it's pretty excited, kind of sharing the secret right now. So thank you for sharing that. That's extremely exciting. So Andrea, we know you recently collaborated with Sofia The Robot to create these digital NFTs like we talked about, but where do you see the most promise in NFTs?
I think what is very important for NFTs is, first of all, to create them very, very wisely and not create too many NFTs. So if you're an artist, it's very important that you don't flood the market with oversupply, and you're very mindful when you create. So I think the good NFTs are the ones that are scarce, right? Then, of course, it's important also to have certain degrees of depth in terms of, the creative effort and do things that are, new, innovative, and profound. There are many artists, that are very good in the space. And now we also see artists from the traditional world, even blue chip artists, that they start moving into the NFT space. And I think in the end, we won't talk about NFTs anymore, because NFTs are just basically a proof of ownership of a certain digital good, or even physical good in some instances. So I think through time, it will just be called art, and it will be sometimes only physical, sometimes represented by an NFT, but it will be completely absorbed, I think, and included, with the broader definition of art.
That's great. I think there's a lot of promise with these NFTs, and every single day I see something that in the news or in some trends that I'm following, or even some collaboration with some writers on our platform. So I do appreciate the share on that. And so, Andrea, tell us about your latest NFT drop coming July 23rd. What was your inspiration behind the space exploration theme, and why is the commemoration of space exploration important?
Well, so I'm really looking forward for the 23rd. And the reason why I focus on space exploration is because I think that's a very interesting topic. And as human beings evolve to be like a multiplanetary society, I think it's something that it's going to be like a new paradigm that we'll all witness, over the next few years. So what I'm doing with my upcoming drop on Nifty Gateway on the 23rd of July, is to celebrate the pioneers of the past and the present in space exploration, and as well go for some like very innovative concepts around programmable art. There'll be one piece that is basically gonna change if I happen to go to space. It's one version right now, but then if some external event, happens, so in this case, like me going to space, it will change into something else, and it will be like the reinterpretation of that artwork drawn from space. And this also shows that it's something that I'm very curious about, and I would really like, before dying, to go to space, because I think it would be like an experience that definitely changes your perspectives on how you see things. And as I said, I see it as something that will pioneer like an era where human beings will just go beyond, this planet, and it will be considered normal, as is normal now to travel to another country, right? And before was something that you could not even think about.
Absolutely. I love that. And the fact that you're, using a newer technology, right? As we talk about the pioneering of space travel, I think that's simply awesome. And I can't wait till it comes out, and we'll be sure to follow you and reshare all this stuff on social media. So thanks again. So Andrea, can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in the arts or entrepreneurship?
Yes, for sure. So one thing that I feel is very important is, before you embark any artistic or entrepreneurial adventure, to really be objective and stress test what you're doing, like to ask yourself many questions. If your work is good, if your idea is really valuable, and try to find reasons not to do it more than doing it. And then if through that process you are still very convinced and you want to do it, after this objective process of really trying to challenge, your own ideas, and you have the courage to do it, then maybe, it's good for you to actually go ahead and do it. So, it is of course always like a roller coaster, there are up and downs, and it's very important that, as I also said before, particularly from an NFT standpoint here, you're very, very mindful with the people you work with, the collectors you collaborate with, and as well how many pieces you create, because it should be something, I think, in the end that should be exclusive, right? And should be like high-end work of art. So you shouldn't like commoditize, in the art world, what you're doing. As an entrepreneurial standpoint, there are some similarities. Now I'm jumping like between the two, because there are some point in commons and of course differences. But I think the main driver in both cases is to be honest with yourself and be ready, for challenging times. But if you really think that's what's coherent with your own essence, you should go for it and do it.
I love that. And there's always some silver lining in all that hard work and challenges that entrepreneurs go through. In general, humans go through in life. But I appreciate you sharing and your perseverance through the challenging times. And so I do, again, feel that's very helpful for our audience. And Andrea, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
Bye for now.